Hello, good morning. Yeah, chat first. Okay, thank you. Good morning, guys. So, welcome to today's pre-market analysis. So, we are currently running a bit late. We are almost near to our pre-market opening. So, with respect to yesterday, we couldn't conduct the live because of some technical issues. So, this data was um, regarding this is previous day 29th. If you see over here, we were having an idea of having a downtrend from this particular area, and it came down to this particular point, and from there it reversed back, indicating a bullish reversal. It closed actually above the pivot line, but after that a rally backed, and we could have taken an entry at this particular point to our first support one and trail if it was going down. So this is clearly purely price action. If you see that when we are trading on with respect to the pivot point support and resistance, so when it comes to the pivot line, if it is giving a rally breakout, then definitely we can take an entry at the rally as first low of that particular point and trail it up to our keep target at your support one. And after breaking the support one, it clearly gave a retest at the support one level, then definitely we could have trailed it up to our support two also. This is what yesterday happened, and day before yesterday, yesterday no, this is day before yesterday, and yesterday we didn't conduct it. So we will quickly move on to today's levels with respect to the pivot point. So pivot point, and yesterday if you see that it purely on the basis of price action, if you see purely indecision happened yesterday in Nifty 50. But with respect to Bank Nifty was on a bull run. If you see, so let's start with today's pivot line level. So 25 931 31. So you'll mark it as 30 only. 25 pivot point for today, 25 900 and 30. We will only mark up to 30. And with respect to the pivot point of Nifty, today's support one lies at 25 885. We will mark it as 880 only. 25 880, and support 2 at 25 830. So the ranges are pretty close because we had a indecision, like doji candle appeared in yesterday, so the ranges will be pretty close for today. So support 2 is at 25 830, and support 3 is at 25 780. 25 780. So with respect to the resistance part, resistance 1 lies at 25,990. This is where the first resistance comes. So from if you see from our pivot point, it is nearly 60 points away, and resistance 2 is at 26,030, and resistance 3 is at 26,085 mark for here. So these are the support and resistance levels with respect to the pivot point for the day, and we will mark it out quickly. 25 930 on the pivot line, and first resistance at 25 990. Third support is at 25 780. We will mark the bullish bearish zones after we discuss the levels with respect to our Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty, with respect to Bank Nifty, yesterday it was a good bull run, and it is also opening near to above, little bit above yesterday's closing. So the bullish continuation to be continued, and also tomorrow we have another year starting, new year starting. So usually the first day of every Jan first used to be positive, so running positive. This, as per the history data, if you see, So on pivot point with respect to bank nifty, it is 59,060. This will be the bank nifty's pivot point. So with respect to the support part, S1 is at 58,850. 58850. And support 2 is at 58,520. 25 it is 58,520 only we will be marking. Support 3 is at 58,350. 13 it is, we will mark it as 310. And with respect to the resistance part, if you see 59,380. Oh, it is 58, not 59,000. It is 59. And resistance 2 is at 59,500, 600 almost. It's 596, 600 we will be marking. And resistance 3 is at 59,920. 920. So this is the levels with respect to Bank Nifty. We are near to 911. Okay, so we will mark this also quickly. So pivot at 59.60. So first resistance at 59,380. 59380. And on the first support is at 58,850. 58,850 will be the first support. So these are the levels with respect to Bank Nifty. We will come discuss this again after we set up Sensex levels as well. It's a bit greenish ending yesterday on Sensex. Apart from Nifty, all alone ending up in an indecision doji candle on a red candle. So with respect to Sensex, if you see, a pivot point is at 84,650. And support 1 with respect to that lies at 84,495. Will mark it as 500 only. Support 1. And support 2 at 84,350. So 84,310. And support 3 at 84,150. 160 will mark. 84,160. And with respect to resistance 1, 84,830. And resistance 2 at 84,990. And resistance 3 at 85,170. So these are the levels with respect to Sensex, and we will quickly mark the levels over here as well. Pivot at 84,650. First resistance at 84,830. And 84,500 will be the first support. So these are the levels with respect to Sensex today. I will move on to Nifty. So we have a pretty little slight gap up opening for the day, and we will mark the zones as well. It will be always between resistance 2 and resistance 3 can be considered as a bullish zone. So extreme bullish zone is always at R3 on pivot basis. When we look our analysis on the basis of pivot basis, R3 is considered as an extreme bullish zone, and R2 usually considered as a reversal zone. I'll explain that. We will mark these levels quickly. 26,030 and between 26,085. We have close range for the day. And with respect to the consolidation part, if we see support 1 and Resistance 1, 25,880 and 990. 25,880 and 25,990 will be the consolidation zone if you see. And on the bearish side, it will be below support 1, 25,880 to second support is at 25,830. So that's all for today's level with respect to Nifty, and we opened with a slight gap up, and it is right above our resistance 1. So resistance 1 with respect to I'll change this volume on 1 second. Okay, so when we look into pivot line level, so the trading setups comes when it is opening above the pivot line, then definitely we are going for a bull run. We already know. So, but it actually opened near to our resistance 1, and it is crossing above the resistance 1. So, exactly a slight fall back can be taken as an entry. So, fall back in the sense what I am meaning is that when market goes up, when this slight fallbacks come, then you can pull out a opportunity over here to the resistance, first resistance 2 part again, and resistance 2 can be a reversal point, but if it is breaking above that, then you can plan your trade to the resistance 2 as well. So right now, if we see, we will change it to 15 minutes. Let's wait for that first initial 15 minutes for the market to settle. We will wait for that time, because we don't know if only a closing above this level can be considered as an entry over the resistance 1. If you see, we have a quick look at the FIA data yesterday's. So FIA already sold nearly 4,000 crores, but that's kind of a little bit higher with respect to the other previous days. And DA also added nearly 6,000, 200, 300 crores to the cash market. And with respect to the FIA's sensible, like in the sense FNO data, if you see, so it was net bullish. So I expect a good positive continuation today as well. So, but anyway, this is uh, a certain view of the market, but we will wait for this entry. We will wait for the closing to happen above this level, and when we get that particular pullback, then we can plan for an entry from this level. So let it go and let this pullback happen. We'll keep this as our entry point if it is closing above the level. ये लाइव है, प्री रिकॉर्डेड नहीं है, हम लाइव करते हैं. मंजिंदर जी, वेर इज सर? मतलब मैं समझा नहीं. अगर हम कहाँ से लाइव कर रहे हैं तो फिर बैंगलोर पे है हमारा ऑफिस. तो मेंटर्स के लिए पूछ रहे तो हमें अलग अलग मेंटर्स आता है डिफरेंट टाइम पे. मतलब प्री मार्केट में ही कर देता हूँ, जब लाइव मार्केट आ जाता है वो दूसरा मेंटर आता है. तो ऐसे चेंज होते रहता है. वसंत जी, गुड मॉर्निंग. Jatka School, hello, good morning, sir. Good morning to you too. So we'll wait for this level to happen. We'll wait for the first 15 minute. Let the market settle, and we'll wait for a pullback to this level. And if it is retesting on this level and bounce back, then definitely we can go for an entry up to our resistance one. So if it is breaking above the resistance one, then definitely we can have a look at uh, to trail it to trail our target to resistance 2 and sell to our starting point itself. So 5 minute I have changed it to 5 minute. We'll add up the volume also a little bit. Yeah, if you see from, so this is the first candle and second candle. Let's see if the volume gets continued. keep recurringly increasing with respect to the spot value. We'll have a look at NSE's website indices. It is today steel, so construction segments are okay. Tata Steel, Bale, Trent also, Geofen. So on the losing side, if we see Bajaj, Pro, Apollo, Tata contains Zomato is also yesterday also Zomato fault internals. So we will have a look at our heat map also. So the banking segment is still neutral. And if we see on TCS, Infosys is still tech service, energy, Reliance is also positive. So we'll wait for the first initial minutes for the market to settle. We'll have a look at Bank Nifty, what exactly Bank Nifty is being. So Bank Nifty also started near to our in between the pivot line and resistance one. So we will wait for this to break out for an entry on the bullish side, or we will if it is a rejection from this side, then we can plan a trade. But on this rejection, we will just little wait for that for the confirmation. If volume also supported, then only we will take an entry. Deepak ji, last trade of the year. It is last day of trading. Yeah, last day of trading today. Yes, of course. So how's your 2025 trading and investing been? Happy New Year. So Happy New Year also to everyone. For this pullback, we'll until and unless we didn't get a pullback, I don't prefer we take an entry over here. So because R2 is kind of a rejection zone, usually when we are trading on the basis of pivot line, so R2 tend to have a more than the R1. So R1 is where when R1 is breaker, we usually get a pullback. So pullback increases our accuracy. It's always better to take an entry after getting a pullback from this particular level. So if it's almost tested our R1, if you see R2, if you see, so R2 is a level where we get rejections usually. So if it is a break out above this level, then definitely it is the bullish strength is higher. So we can expect move up to R2, R3, sorry, R3. So around R3, we consider it with respect to the pivot zone, we consider it as a exhaustion zone. But if the trend is set, then definitely we can trail it up again, and keep again. साकेत जी सर ट्रेडिंग सीखना है बिल्कुल बिल्कुल जी ट्रेडिंग आप मुझे मैं एक चीज़ चेक कर लेता हूँ इसके नीचे एक फॉर्म होना चाहिए आप उसमें मतलब अगर फिल किया तो कॉल करूँगा मतलब हमारा टीम से या फिर हम किसी एक ने आपसे बात करेंगे फ़ोन पे तो आप वो फॉर्म फिल किया तो बढ़िया रहेगा So pullback type movement is happening here over here if you see. This is your third 5 minute candle, so it is 15-minute candle. We have to look at what exactly happening on 15 minute if you see. Yeah, it already retested at a level. Let's just wait for that first. You'll take an entry on the bull side if it is coming back to this level and closing above this. So first 15 minute I usually prefer not to take an entry as let the market to be settled. Okay, and it is now below our resistance one. So let's just wait. Today we have pretty into, so when it comes to a close range, it is pretty always hit the levels and comes back. Leave for now. Check what exactly the RSI says. Oh, this retest again came. We didn't get a closing, but still the retest happened and it is reversing now. It's already happened and it reversed before the 15-minute candle closing. You miss out an opportunity at the retest over here. But anyway, matlab, for me, I'm not gonna take an entry before that 15-minute closing, even if we get at that retest. So yeah, in 5 minute, if you see on RSI, it is trading above the today's opening itself started at 73 and a slight down, and it's again back to the 73 levels again 80. From 77 it reversed. So now if you see that it is right now at 70 and overbought zone, but we will wait for that. So in trending days, RSI can show this type of scenarios, but we can't take an entry just because that the RSI shows that is on a overbought zone. We mix it up with our price action analysis, price action level. So if it is anywhere near to this particular level and it is the RSI is uh, trading at high, then definitely there are people who do trade on the basis of bullish divergence. So okay, it's again it's nearly near to our first second resistance. If you see 26,030 levels. So as it is a very close, pretty close levels today, so this is a scenario we couldn't take an entry at this particular point, which was a retest. Yeah, this is gonna get our resistance to tested. So let's see if it is continuing the momentum or if it is reversing back. See, usually at R2, the market tend to reverse back a little bit. So if you see on the previous days as well, if you see, This it was on the support type also. When it reached the support 2, it leveled up and it reversed a little bit. So yesterday's support was over near to this particular level, and it consolidated at that particular point, and it didn't give a breakdown in the session. If you see, okay, so here we are getting a rejection again. We had a closing over our first 15-minute candle. If you see, it closed above the level itself. So we will wait for, if we get a further pull back to this level, then we can plan an entry with respect to, see, the closing happen, 15-minute closing happen. If it is retesting bad, then definitely you can go for a bull side entry. And if it is already going up above this level, then resistance 2 can be a reversal zone, and only if it is sustaining above this level, then only we will plan a trade from this level to the resistance 3 zone. But because today the levels are pretty closer, there are chances that might take up to the R3, and also the year ending and year starting positive sentiments is over there, that because the investments and people tend to invest more on the start of year, so usually it starts with a positive day. So I expect a positive trend to continue today as well. So this is prehistoric data based on the uh, previous year and the other year backward. So if we see on January 1st, people the market tend to remain positive. On January month especially, it's not always the same, as we cannot consider that, but in the sentiments I'm talking about. But usually the first day of January used to be positive. So anyway, like I said, as our levels are on the basis of pivot point, resistance 2 is a very uh, high chance zone for reversals. But if it is sustaining, the market sustains above this level, then only we can plan a closing should be happen. Then only we can plan a trade to our R3. So here, if we get a pull back to this level, and even if it is coming down also, again if it is breaking out, we can take an entry over here. And if it is a rally, let's say that the market is going to come on this side, and if it is a rally, then definitely today's low can be considered as an entry point to our pivot line, followed to the support 1. Support 1, the support 1 usually gives a pullback, so like resistance 1, similar to resistance 1, support 1 also gives a pullback all the time. It will be great if we get an entry like this, pullback entries, because our accuracy will be higher on this perspective. We see onto the upper side. This can be kept as a first target. High chances of reversal are there from this particular point, and today's low can be considered as the SL, a pretty little SL, so you can drag it a little. 1 is to 2 range for a safer side if you see. So how much is this really? Okay, 50 points on the spot. But if it is crossing down below this level, then wait for that cross over again. Wait for that retest again, closing above this level. Then only plan your trade. Don't just go for dragon. When it comes test, when this it tests this level, don't go for entry. If it is crossing down, then wait for that this thing pull back, like reversal to happen. And if we see, I'll mark this out. I chance of reversal at this R2. At R2, we can expect a high chance of reversal at this point. So for this, wait for that entry. If it is crossing down, then definitely wait for it to happen. Like wait for it to reverse back, then only take an entry. So the IT sector is dragging, so we should be properly managing the risk management with respect to the trades we are taking in. It might be there might be a chance that market get we could get trapped in between the trades. But on the banking side, if you see, almost everything is on green, but HDFC is still on a slight neutral level. If so, this is a pullback entry. If you see, a pullback entry can be taken, but if it is coming down, wait for the reversal to happen at this level. Then only plan the trade. And if this is continuing, cut your trade. Don't take entry. If a 5 minutes candle is continuously dropping, then it will be a selling rally. So you can go for the put side if you see on this side. So when the ranges between pivots and the support and resistance are a little bit lower, like today, it tend to hit every points and come back. So Bank Nifty reversed from the this particular resistance one. It hit a resistance one and it is reversing on a 5 minute chart if we see. So wait for this Nifty's entries to be frank. So if it is coming below this level, then if it is coming below our particular resistance one level, then wait for the reverse back, then only take an entry. If closing happens below this level, then definitely we should be concerned and don't take an entry until and unless we see a positive close above this resistance level. Because Bank Nifty is dragging down, and if you see on the IT sector side here, if you see IT sector is dragging, everything is on TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech. HCL Tech is little bit gaining, but not as strong as we need them. JWS Steel, we'll have a quick look at JWS Steel. JSW, gap up start on JSW. We'll change this to on a week chart. So it's a pretty good gap up start for JSW Steel for the day. So on a long time basis, if you see this all-time high can be considered as an entry if it gives a proper breakout. Sell obviously get over this place. Closing should be happening. This is for sure. Positive closing above, positive or negative reddish candle or bearish candle, like closing should be happening above this level. And at the retest, we will take an entry. This is how we do on a long time basis. And probably after the second, on the second half only. Oh, we have Nifty. We still didn't got that retest. We'll properly wait. We'll have a look at Bank Nifty as well. Bank Nifty is also reversing back. Steel almost 2%. We'll see, look at Tata Steel as well. Okay, so 179. So channel breakout entry if you see on a 1 day basis, if you see. So here also you can plan a channel breakout on a weekly swing. If you consider a weekly swing trade, then definitely this channel breakout can also be considered. So we take on a 1 hour breakout basis. So this was the entry point if we would have taken yesterday. So when we analyze it on a 1 day time frame for a weekly swing, we mark the setup or lines or channels or whatever pattern on 1 day time frame, then definitely we change it to 1 hour time frame. Then a breakout in 1 hour time frame can be triggered, one can be considered as an opportunity, like in this way. So weekly that uh, a swing PCL. Yeah, this point can be considered as a weekly swing level, or at this point, this is a little bit more riskier than the like the risk reward ratios are should be matching as well, and you should be placing this high over at this particular minimum 1:1 above it should be, or either if you are taking on 1 hour chart time frame, we can consider the swing low to be our SL. This particular swing low can be considered to our SL, and 1:2 we can keep at first, and partial booking should be done at 1:1 and trail your SL to the coast. And as a high is over near, then definitely we can go for that high to be retested again. Then we can trail our SL with respect to that. So if you see, even if it is a gap up start, it is running slightly on the reddish side. If we get a retest at this level, and then definitely we can go for an entry again with respect to this data steel if you see. Oh, Nifty reversed back. Nifty reversed back. So it is a very good volume candle. So until and unless it is coming back to this level, we are not planning that entry. A closing should be happening. So now I believe that Nifty is going to trail down. Let's wait. Let's wait exactly. So it is blocking our this particular. It retested the day's low again. And Nifty also will have a look at. And Nifty also dropped, but not up to our day's low. We'll see. So it is still unchanged on Bank Nifty on banking sector. If we see 10 are advancing. EU Bank, IDFC, HDFC Bank is a little bit dragging, and also the IT segments. So we'll wait for that proper thing to happen. If it is closing above back, then only we'll plan for that bullish entry over there. So here it is. So it's a sudden drop in Nifty to back to our day's lows level. That's why I literally told when it retested we won't be planning an entry if it is a reddish candle like coming below this level. So we'll change it to 1 minute also. We'll see what exactly. Yeah. See here the testing itself that the breaking candle itself is closing down below the level. So this cannot be considered as a trigger. But once a candle, a 5 minute candle is closing above the level, then definitely we can go for the bullseye entry over here. So anyway, that's all for today. We will join back at you at 10 o'clock with our live market analysis. We were doing live market only a little bit, but again we will join back at 10 o'clock. So stay tuned. You guys will be getting your links on the community channel and Discord channel itself. So we will be joining back you soon. And thank you. I wish everyone a good day and a happy New Year to each and everyone. And thank you so much, everyone. मैसेज का क्या हुआ आपका साकेत जी आप फॉर्म फिल कर दीजिए ना आपको कनेक्ट कर देंगे हम ट्रेड पे फिर धन्यवाद सबको थैंक यू एवरीवन we'll join you back with a live trading session okay thank you I'll wind up session thank you everyone